What we're going to show you guys today is something I wish somebody had showed me 3.5 years ago when I launched my online business. A little about myself while we're waiting for others to join us here. I am Reverend Dore, but the best part of my life in the last 14 years, I have been what I call CEO. I've employed a lot of people. I'm that lady that had multiple stores in the island doing what I love, which is hair supply. I love to make ladies look beautiful. And one thing about that particular business was it just wasn't a business like any other business. While I was studying in the Philippines in 2005, 6, 7, and 8, I realized that so many of my sisters, I'm originally a Nigerian, I realized that so many of my sisters were looking so tattered and not like ourselves studying in the Philippines. And that was what led me in 2006 summer. I went to China and I got some hair accessories for them. And it wasn't even for selling. I just decided to bless my sisters who were going to school. I didn't like how they looked. And when I came back, they were so grateful that I did that. And that really brought a passion in me that I was telling the Lord, after the Bible school in 2008, what was I going to do? So as the Lord may have it, I married in the island of Nevis in 2009/2010. And the first thing I told my husband I wanted to do when he asked me, okay, Reverend Joy, is it just about the ministry? I say, yes, it's true. I love the ministry because I'm now an ordained minister. But at the same time, what will I be doing from Monday to Friday? I want to serve the ladies from the place of beauty. And he was like, you serious? You want to do that? I say, yes. And that passion grew to a store that led to about 5 stores at the end of the day in the islands. And when I came into the stateside, a lot happened. It didn't work the way I planned it. And 3.5 years ago, almost 4, I joined the online space through network marketing, which is like now I'm over 14 years in business, which what I just told you. And what we're going to see here today from our coach, Jasmine, is what I wish somebody had shown me the very day they showed me the opportunity online. Did I make money in 2020, 2021, 2023 online? Yes, I did, but I believe that if somebody has shown me that system, who knows, I would have been in my 7 figures by now. Yes, I did multiple 6 figures online, but that wasn't consistent. And for you to have a consistent revenue, I want every one of you here today, both those on the group watching us right now, to pay keen attention, because this is going to skyrocket whatever you're doing now from the 4-figure to a 5-figure earner, or a 6-figure earner to a 7-figure earner, or whatever you want to be, once you understand this system and stay on it consistently. So I'm so privileged. Somebody's from Sierra Leone. Yes, let me see who is from Sierra Leone. Oh my God, welcome. Okay, good. My coach is on it. That's good. Chica Nena from Texas. Wow. Good to see you. And one of my sons, I call him in Sierra Leone, he's on. Mohammed, thank you so much for being on. And I have one of my amazing team leader too in Trinidad, Susan. I'm a global builder. I'm that child that sits on the global realm. So on this course, you're gonna see the Australians, you're gonna see the Filipinos, you're gonna see the Africans, the Caribbeans, because God has been so good. I tell them I was one of the Nigerians that traveled to multiple countries as a Nigerian. People ask me, how did you do it? I don't know. I just was traveling. And every port I got to, the Lord gave me the grace to move over. So in Asia, I went to so many countries, and even in the South America side, I went to so many countries, and here now I'm in the States side. And when it comes to Caribbean, I'm a born Caribbean. So I go to anywhere I want to go in the Caribbean, I have the passport and everything. So somebody's from the Philippines. Who is from the Philippines now? I tell you, I'm from the Philippines. Come on. So, I was in the Philippines and I can't wait to go back there. It's one of the countries, God strongly puts in my heart to go and help the children in the street. in the Philippines. I'm serious, just like God put a burden for Africa for me, which is where I'm from. But Philippines is a passion that I developed over the years. So thank you so much for everyone on the call. And I really don't want to take so much of your time. I was just waiting for more people to come in because I know my coach is one. Jasmine, I spent a little time talking to her, and I've seen what she has done over the years. And every time I look at her, she reminds me of a dear friend of mine in Maryland called Ify. She brings the smile and everything. And I like, no, there's no better person to show us the system, the simplest way. That is one thing you hear systems. But one thing I realize every time I spend those few minutes with her is she shows the system how I want to show women to actually enhance their life, which is what I call effortlessly. So everything we're going to be bringing in this community is to make your life more easier. But will you put the work? Yeah, we will need you to put the work. Whatever we say do, you need to do it. But at the same time, it's going to be more easier than anything out there that is, what is easier? There's nothing out there that can be more easier to what Jasmine is going to bring to us today. So I'm just going to hand it over. I'm like you guys on this call. So Coach, take it away. Take us through the journey of the tech, and let's get this party going.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Like, first of all, can we just give a hand clap for Reverend Joy? Like, this week has been amazing. So if you were a part of the Challenge the Champion Summit, the speakers were phenomenal. Just thank you, Reverend Joy. Thank you for, creating the platform for everybody to share their stories. Thank you for allowing me to be here today to, give some education and helping people to save time. Just, we appreciate you for even getting us all together in this room. We wouldn't be here if it wasn't for your dream and your vision and what it is that you're set out to do. So thank you so much for all of that. And thank you for everybody that's here in the Zoom, everybody that is watching in the Facebook group. I will tell you up front that I don't want to just be talking. I like engaging. If you can come on camera, please come on camera. It doesn't matter how you look. We're here to learn and we're here to do this thing together. Happy Women's History Month. Happy belated, Women's International Day. Like what? Like we're killing it out here. We are truly killing it. So what better way to be here on a Saturday morning. So I appreciate you guys for being here on a Saturday and wanting to get this information. So for those of you that are wanting to start a business, all of this information is going to be really great for you. But for those of you that already have a business and it's existing and you're making money and it's running, this is still applicable for you as well. And so as we go through this, I really want you to think about, if you're just starting your business, how would you want things to be as we kind of go through this? And if you already have an existing business, I want you to think about improvements and things that you will want to change as we go along. So if you haven't already, let us know where you're from. Say hello. Again, I want to see the chat blowing up. That gives me energy. That lets me know that you're here, you're present, you're engaged, and that's all I can ask. And for questions, of course, we'll have a Q&A at the end, but please jot your questions down and I will stop, and we'll talk about it. So let's do that. We're going to go ahead and hop in. So without further ado, let's get going. Does anybody have any questions before we start? Just anything in particular that you have? And you may not, and that's all right. So I'm going to ask y'all a lot of questions. All right. So put a 1 in the chat. If you are new, if you're a new business owner, put a 1 in the chat so I can kind of get a feel of the room and know who's here. If you're a new business owner, I would say under 2 years. If you're a new business owner under 2 years, if you could put a 1 in the chat. If you're an aspiring business owner, throw a 2 in the chat. I'm just trying to peel out the room and see who's here. Okay, so we have a 1, have a 2. All right. So we probably have a little mix of everybody, which is completely fine. Like I said, as we kind of go along, all of this information is going to apply to everybody. So today we're going to be talking about perfecting your system so you can I'm not sharing my screen. Let me share my screen. 1 second. Let me share my screen. See, I'm ready to get started, y'all. Like I'm fired up. I'm ready to drop these gems. Make sure you have something to take some notes. Because it's just going to be, we're going to be talking about a lot of stuff today. Oh, Reverend Joy, can you give me screen sharing capabilities? And sometimes I talk fast, so I'll make sure I try to slow down because I get excited. I talk fast when I get excited, so I'll make sure I slow it down. All right, awesome. So let's go ahead and hop in. So can everybody see this screen here with the slide? Okay, perfect. All right, y'all. So let's go ahead and hop in. Perfecting your system so that you can capture, nurture, and close leads. So who am I? I'm Jasmine. I'm your fellow systems coach, wife, mom, competitive bowler, community influencer, and creative mastermind, or just some of the hats that I wear, while adding over 10,000 hours of productivity time to entrepreneurs and handling their visions with care. I am here to let you know that tech is not hard. I'm here to let you know that you need systems in your business, getting you to understand that, the awareness around why you need systems in your business, why systems are one of the key foundations to your business. Oftentimes people start their business and they're like, I need money, I need marketing, I need clients, but that's actually backwards. Like, what we're going to be talking about today are the foundational things that you want to have set up first. So then you'll be in position and you'll be ready to receive those people. And so I have conversations every day, all the time, with businesses that they did do it backwards. And so now we're trying to clean up what they have, get things organized, because they still have prospects and leads coming through the chute, right? To book calls with them and all of these things. And now we're having to literally backtrack, and some of these people for years. So think about everything we're talking about, like, just keep an open mind as we're kind of going through this. Some of this you may have heard before, some of this information you may have heard before, and some of it may be new, but either way, just kind of keep an open mind as we kind of go through this. And again, let me make sure I can see the chat so I can pull that up, so I can just have it just in case. Just pull it up. All right. All right, so let's talk about the client experience, your customer journey. So I have a question for you guys. Give me a company, throw it in the chat, that has exceptional customer service. So every time you go there, you buy something or you use their service, like, it is absolutely phenomenal. So throw a company in the chat, a business in the chat that you've used before that is just exceptional, because that's going to tie in heavy to what we're talking about today. I know for me, I don't know if this one is overseas, I'm not sure, but Chick-fil-A. Yeah, ClickFunnels is really good too. Yep. Chick-fil-A as well. Chick-fil-A. So their system is on, like, everything they have is on point. All of their workers, their process from the time you drive up to the drive-through to getting your food, like, everything is just super spectacular. And so when you really think about it, their client experience is phenomenal. If you break that down, and like a lot of things we're going to be talking about today, it goes back to, they have a system, and they have a system that works, and it works very well. And I use that example all the time, and I tell people, like, this is a system you'll want to replicate everything they're doing, right? This is something you want to replicate. Think about it. Look at their employees. Look at the way that they can get you food fast. They're even closed on Sundays, and they make more money than McDonald's. McDonald's is open like 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Chick-fil-A is not. They're not. So those are the types of things. When you think about your business, think about your customer journey, from the time that they find you on social media to the time that they book a call with you, or you're wanting them to buy something, and just think about that customer journey as we're kind of talking about this. So the client experience, why is it important? Why? From the time somebody first sees you on your website or social media, right? You want to make a very good impression, right? You don't want to have things unorganized all over the place. And so we're going to really hop into that in a second, right? So referrals. I know, like, my business has been referral based for years. Like, I haven't done a ton of marketing. I may do like workshops or presentations or things like that. I haven't run ads. Like, I am a true organic marketer, and I have survived and have had plenty, like us, like the company not needing anything just from referrals, right? Brand reputation, right? So you think about, I go to McDonald's, so they're a big company, right? So think about us. We're a smaller company. Nobody knows who we are, right? We're trying to get ourselves out there, show people how amazing we are, how amazing our products are and our services are. But I want you to think about the bigger companies, your Walmart, your McDonald's, Target, places like that. So McDonald's, for example, I've had good and I've had bad experiences with McDonald's. The bad experiences I've had, I still go back. I still go buy my kids Happy Meals. It's convenient, and they're all over the place. I don't really think about it. But when it comes to us and us having smaller businesses, if somebody comes to us and they have a bad experience, they're not going to be back, and we aren't getting referrals, and they're probably going to tell someone that they had a bad experience. With me going to McDonald's, I'm not telling anyone that I had a bad experience at McDonald's. I'm not going to say anything, but I'm probably going to go back. But when it comes, I want you to really put this in perspective. Those are the bigger companies. Think about us. We're just starting. We're smaller, right? It's different. And so you want to make sure that you have the world's class customer experience, customer journey, so they can say only good things about you, right? Like you want to be more proactive than reactive, right? Why is it important? Higher retention rates. Yes, you want to retain your clients. If you're a service-based business, you want them to continue to work with you. And then if you do end with them, you want it to be on good terms, so they can come back at another time for another offer or another service you're offering. And then you want them to refer people again. And then loyalty. You want people to continue to send people your way, right? So let's go ahead and get in this thing. So we're going to start with the fundamentals of lead management. Lead management. So we're going to talk about why lead management is crucial for business success and how it can help streamline your processes. So you have what is called lead generation, the lead generation process. And these are words you may have heard before. We're not going to go too deep into marketing, but I just need you to understand, like conceptualize and understand this piece, because we're going to be kind of digging in the middle. So you have the lead generation journey. What that is from the time somebody finds you on social media or your website to the time that they click, like, let's say it's social media. They find you on social media, then they click your link to your website or to book a call with you, right? Then they go to that page, then they end up booking a call with you or buying something from you. Then it just goes, right? So that's like the lead generation journey from the time that they first like engage or interact with you all the way through until they buy something, and actually past that as well. The lead management process, what we're going to start with is the beginning. When they find you on social media, when they're on your website, or they Google you, whatever the case is, or somebody refers, that beginning piece is where we're going to start, because I just want you to understand it, right? So as far as the leads journey, right, you have the awareness phase. So we're kind of talking about that. Then you have the capturing phase, the nurturing phase, and lastly, the closing phase. And then kind of in conjunction with the closing phase, you have your onboarding, right after that, if you're like a service-based business, right? So lead generation, what is lead generation? I just kind of gave you an example, but let's like really get the definition of it. So leads are people who are potentially interested in buying your products or services. Lead generation lets you reach potential customers early in the buyer's journey so you can earn their trust, build a relationship, and be by their side until they're ready to make a purchase. Okay. Lead management. Now, remember, they're different. So remember, lead generation is the bigger piece of the pie. Lead management is just a chunk of that lead generation. It's a chunk of that, okay? So lead management is the bridge between marketing and sales. It's the process of finding potential customers, nurturing their interest, and then passing them on to the sales team when they're ready to make a purchase. If you're a solopreneur, it's just you are the sales team. You're the sales team, the finance person, the marketing person doing the service. You're wearing 50 hats. I get it. So you are the sales team. So this is what the lead management process is. Any questions so far? Does it make sense? Are you kind of following me here? Okay. The reason I'm doing it this way is I'm trying to get you to understand the bigger picture, and then we're kind of going to come in to the pieces that make that you need to like have and create and that type of thing when it comes to systems. So this is a fun fact. Companies with a robust lead system process have a 9.3% higher sales quota, meaning you having a process for you to manage your leads is going to bring you more sales. You not being organized and not having a process to manage your leads from the time they come in the door, you're losing money. And in other words, I call it a leaky funnel. Your funnel is leaky, is leaking. So let's say, I'll give you an example. Let's say somebody goes to my social media page or my website. Let's say they book a call with me, right? We talk, and maybe now is not the time that they want to work with me, which is fine. So I've had that call. So I would love to know in the chat if that has happened to you. If somebody's booked a call with you and they're not ready to work with you right now, what do you do with those people? How are you managing those people? I really, really want to know, like, what would you do if somebody booked a call with you? They weren't ready to work with you right now. You have their information. What are you doing with that person? I'm going to tell you what you probably have done is you probably did nothing. And it's okay. You probably absolutely did nothing. You probably haven't done touch points with them. You probably just after that call, it was your intention maybe to follow up or say hi, see how they're doing, check in, maybe, drop some information on them, but you just probably haven't because you're not organized. You don't have a process, right? To manage that. So that is what we're going to be talking about today. So just so you can understand. So you have 5 different types of leads, okay? You have a new lead, which is any potential customer you know something about. You have working leads, a working lead, somebody you're having a conversation with. I call those more like your warm leads, right? You have the nurturing leads, which is a lead who is not interested. We were just talking about that. A lead who is not interested in buying right now, but they may be in the future. You have unqualified people, right? Somebody who's not interested in what you have to offer, whether they are not interested or whether you are not interested in working with them. And then you've got your qualified lead, somebody who's ready to do business and pay you and they want to get to work, right? So these are the different types of leads. I wouldn't stress about this. This is more so of you just kind of understanding that there are different types. But if you're somebody that you don't have anything set up at all, don't stress about this. I don't want you to be like, oh my God, what type of lead are they and what I put them like. I don't want you to stress. I just want you to know that these are the terms in the marketing and like tech world. These are the terms that we use like on the back end, but I really don't want you to stress about it. I would just more so think of it as a cold lead and a warm lead. Your cold lead are people that they don't really know who you are, right? And they're coming into your ecosystem. You have to warm them up. If they opt into your newsletter, if they are clicking around on your site. So if you're someone that already has like a website or a funnel, you should go look at your site views and see what people are looking at, what pages they're looking at, how long they're staying on your page, like the analytics. You should look and see, right? You want to see what people are doing and engaging. And we're going to talk about that like a little bit later with the customer behavior. So let's talk about the importance of lead management. So nurturing leads through your sales funnel, maximizing conversion rates, and improving customer acquisition and retention. All of these things and some. These are just like 3 things, but these are like the 3 main things. And there's a lot of like branches under that, but these are the main things, right? And we kind of talked about, for those of you that may have had a call with somebody, they weren't interested, we talked about that you probably aren't even doing anything right now. So think about how much money you left on the table, how much money left on the table, and how much money is sitting right now. I want you to really think about it. How much money have you left on the table? And I'm guilty of it too. I've done it. I'm not perfect, and this is what I do, right? I'm much better doing this for other people's businesses than my own, but I do my best to stay on my P's and Q's as well. But you want to make sure that you have it. So let's go ahead and hop in, right? Capturing your leads. So do your leads have a way to contact you? What do you have in place? I want you to throw it in the chat. What do you have in place for leads to get in contact with you? So if you have social media, what's on your social media? If they're like, you know what, I want to know more about this person. What do you have in place? Just throw it in the chat. I want to know. What do you guys have in place? Is it, a lead magnet? Are you asking them to get on your newsletter? Is it a website? Is it a link to book a call with you? Like, what do you have right now that people can reach you? And I know some of y'all have something set up. So I know some of y'all on this call. So just throw it in the chat. Just go ahead. Don't be shy. Go ahead, throw it in the chat. Don't be shy. Like I said, I want this to be engaging. Direct message on WhatsApp. That's cool. Okay. So is that a link? I didn't even know you could do that. Social media, email. Okay. So when they're on your social media page, you have them email you. Because I know Chica, you do travel. So that makes sense. Okay. So if someone finds you on social media on your website, do they have a way to book a call with you? So examples of call to actions for, there's a link for that. Oh, that's awesome. See, I learned something new. I didn't know that. I use WhatsApp daily, but I didn't know that. I don't use it in that way. I use it for communication, like with the team or people, but that's good. That's good to know. So we're talking about capturing your lead right now. So examples of call to actions: booking a consultation with you, a complimentary consultation, subscribing to join your newsletter, right? Having a contact form. You want to capture their information. You have to capture their information, because how are you going to reach out to them? How are you going to know who they are and that they exist and that they're actually interested in what you have to offer? So if there's somebody that is following you on your social media page and then they end up clicking a link, I consider those a warm lead, because they were on your social media, they saw something that they liked, they saw something that they were aligned with, and now they're going to figure out a way to do something else with you. Like, okay, I want to know more. What else does this person do? So they're going to start clicking around. They're going to go to your bio. If you have a link tree, email, whatever links you have, they're looking for that. So if you don't have that, I would recommend a link probably over an email, Chica, like some type of link to send them somewhere that tells who you are, what you do, what you're about, what you offer, all the things. They should be able to go and then for them to take an action. So for those of you that are service-based businesses, booking a call with you, you have to have a calendar set up. You absolutely should have that set up if you're a service-based business. If you're a product-based business, probably like joining your newsletter, or obviously you want them to buy things, but we're talking about like free things, a way for them to take an action without paying anything yet, right? So joining newsletter, some type of form, something you can capture their information. And this is important so you can retarget them later. And so we're going to be talking about nurturing in a minute. You can't nurture people if you don't have their information. And so you want to make sure that you have a call to action in place. So I kind of skipped ahead on the question I have, but what call to actions do you currently have in place? Booking a call, joining your newsletter, contact form, whatever it is, something, right? You want to make sure you have something in place. So if you don't have like a lead capture page, let's talk a little bit about that, like a landing page. A landing page is just literally like a one pager that just has information on it. And I always recommend to put like a form on there so you can collect people's information. So even if they're not booking a call with you, if you're not having them buy something, get their information. And then if they put their information in, that's how you truly know, like, okay, this person is really, I consider those like warm, like they're lukewarm coming into the warm phase, because they are genuinely interested in what you have to offer. So creating a form to collect the name, email, phone number, right? The goal is to build a relationship with the lead. We want them to become warm. And to be honest, if they come off of your social media to the next page and then they put their information in the form, they are absolutely warm. So you definitely want to make sure that you keep tabs on that person, right? And so moving into the nurturing the lead. So lead nurturing. This is a term that nurturing, like when people hear this, and this is just from me telling you from experience, like a lot of people I've talked to, they don't know what this means. They overthink it. So when you think about lead nurturing, what do you think about? And a lot of us have been nurtured in our emails and text messages. We've been nurtured and we didn't even realize that's what people were doing to us. So have you ever went to somebody's website, they had something you like, you put in your information some type of way, and now you get all these emails all the time. Some of them send 2 a day, one per day. You get text messages. They are nurturing you. You are now in their funnel. So you click something, you put your information in, or even if you bought something, they're nurturing you. I know like things I buy for my kids all the time. I'm like, geez, like it's so many emails that I get. But guess what they're doing? They're nurturing me and they're staying top of mind. So when I'm ready to go buy them some new clothes or go sign them up for a new extracurricular activity, I'm not having to go to Google or go on social media and search. Like I could just go straight to my phone. And I'm like, somebody emailed me yesterday. Who was it? And boom, like they're doing what they're supposed to be doing. And so you need to be doing the same thing for your leads. You need to be staying in front of them. You need to be, as I said, staying in the way. It can come off annoying, but they will appreciate it later, and so will you. And you want to make sure that you have all of that set up ahead of time, right? So if you are doing text message marketing, if you're not doing it, I recommend you do it. People are more inclined to check their text messages before they check their emails. They're going to see that first. Don't like spam them, you know what I'm saying? Like don't send a lot, but even if it's a tip, a motivational tip weekly or something like that, just something to stay in front of them and stay top of mind. It can just be informational and educational. You're nurturing them. So you're not asking them to buy. But when you do have a new offer, a new service, or new product, you can slide that in from time to time, but you are purely nurturing them. You are staying in front of them. Lead nurturing is providing relevant information based on customer behavior. So let's talk about the customer behavior. I know I mentioned that earlier on. You can have different nurturing sequences for different customer behavior. So what is customer behavior? You may have somebody that books a call with you. So that's somebody you've actually talked to, right? You've seen their face, you've talked to them, you know a little bit about them. You may have somebody that signs up for your newsletter over here. You may have somebody that was just referred to you over here and somehow you have their information. You may not send the same information to each one of those people because their behaviors are different in how they interacted and engaged with you. Does that make sense? So you may have a different nurturing path for each of those people. So especially if it's somebody that you've talked to, like personally, you've met them, to me, they're going to be a little bit warmer than someone that's just on the newsletter. They're both warm, but it's a little bit different. So if somebody is getting on your newsletter, they're getting on your list, I consider those your VIP people. They're warm, but if you have actually gotten on the phone with somebody, they've booked a call, that's a more of a hot warm to me. Like that's a flaming hot, close to the fire. They're probably about to buy something from you because they're interested, right? The people that are on your newsletter, they may just want information right now. It may not be the time or whatever the case may be. But because those are different, those are examples of like different like customer behavior. So think about the different ways people engage with you from social media, from your website, referrals, you've talked to them, they've bought from you before. Think about all these different things. I would recommend to have different nurturing paths, right, for each of those people. But you also can put them all in one bucket and send them the same thing too. You can do that as well. So if that's like overwhelming for you, just do an informational type deal and just send them information. So if you're a motivational coach, send them some motivation in their inbox. Hey, it's Motivation Monday. Here's just something I wanted to share with you, right? And then put it on autopilot. That's like create your emails, create your text messages, schedule it out, have it go to everybody and be done with it, right? So why is lead nurturing important for the client experience? I know I have skipped ahead for a lot of my slides. Like I told you, I get excited. I know I've said probably a lot of this already, but why is it important? Nurturing your lead is important to creating a better client experience, credibility, long-term relationships. We all want that. We all want that. So how can we create long-term relationships if we just have a call with somebody and we never talk to them again? How can we create that experience? How can we nurture them in the first place? Right? I've been guilty of it in the past. And you know what I see a lot of is so interesting. So people that don't nurture their audience, they'll come to me and they'll want some marketing. And I'm like, okay, do you have an email list? They're like, yeah, but I haven't sent an email in 6 months. I just throw my hands up. I'm like, but now you want to start a marketing campaign because you want them to buy something from you. I know personally, like if I don't hear from somebody in a long time, buying from them, I'm like, where have you been? Versus like we talked about a minute ago, the people that are staying in our text messages in our inbox, like who are you more inclined to buy from? Somebody that you probably received something from a little while ago or like a year ago. Right? So those are the things that you want to think about when nurturing is very, very, very important. And it's important because not everybody that comes your way is going to work with you right away, but it will help increase your, like I gave the 9 point, I think it was 3% or 9.8%, it will increase your sales for sure. So once you have captured your lead, so we talked about having your form, having that in place. We're talking about the nurturing. What do you have in place right now to nurture your lead? Throw it in the chat for me. What are some of the things that you're doing right now? If you are nurturing, or if you are nurturing, I want to know. If you're thinking about nurturing, I would want to know what is something you would want to implement. What is something that you want to implement? You just pick one thing. So if you in a perfect world were nurturing your audience, your list, your people, what would you want to do? Or if you're already currently doing that, what are you doing? What do you have in place? Sending text messages, but want to start a travel tip Tuesday. Love that. Oh, I want the travel tip Tuesday because there's so much information I don't know. And I want to schedule family trips and do the things. I just don't have time. Like with the 3 kids, like I have 3 girls. I don't even think I said that. I have 3 girls, 7, 6, and 2. I don't have time to book a trip. I really have time to make it day to day, let alone trying to book flights and look at hotels. It's too much, but that's great. Or even like looking at airfare, just things like that. I love that. Um, so with the text messages, you can kind of pre-schedule those ahead of time. Do it for the month and be done with it. Do your 4, sit down and do it, schedule them out, be done, and do the next month. I think that's great. I love that. But let's talk about some here. So SMS text messaging, we kind of already talked about that. Motivational Monday is a lot of things you could do with text message marketing. Email marketing. Okay, so somebody broadcast messages on WhatsApp. Love it. Something, right? I don't know if you're currently doing that or if that is what you aspire to do, but I think if you're the one that's already using WhatsApp, you're probably already doing it. So that's great. You have something in place. Email marketing, we kind of talked about that. One of the biggest things I recommend with email marketing is if you don't have anything in place, start with a monthly newsletter. Just start with a monthly newsletter, right? Not weekly, not, I'm going to do 2 days a week. No, because there's a good chance that you are going to not commit to that. It's a good chance. I mean, it just is. Start with monthly. You want to under promise and over deliver. You want to train your audience. You want to train them. And you can't train them if you are telling them, oh yeah, I'm going to send something daily. And then you don't do it. So it's better to start small and work your way up big. So if you start with the monthly newsletter, it can just be tips. It can be informational. If you want to throw in a call to action, hey, book a call. If you want to sell something, you can do that as well. But a big piece of that should be nurturing, informational, educational, a word from Reverend Joy. Whatever you want to do it in that way. Just start with one. Pick a day of the month, get that going. Once you do that and your audience, and you kind of watch your analytics and you're like, okay, they're opening it. Okay, they're clicking. And if they tell you, hey, I'm loving a newsletter, then you can think about doing a little bit more. But I will start with 1 email a month. So, okay. So yeah, Wealthy Wednesday Wisdom. That's great. I love it. So yeah, think about it. So as you guys are looking in a chat with some of the people that are present, seeing what they're doing, that should give you some ideas on what you can do as well, whether it's text message marketing or emails too. You could do the same thing with emails. Some people do send out weekly emails, but for some, that's a little bit too much for them. So I always go to just do a monthly. Do it monthly. You can literally sit down for an hour, 2 hours, plan that email out and schedule it out. You're done. You can do next month too, get it out the way, but schedule it ahead of time so you're not stressed out. So what's another way to nurture your lead? A community. Huge. Who's heard of school.com? It's like booming right now. Who's heard of school.com? Or do you have a Facebook group, LinkedIn group? There's a lot of different communities out there, mighty networks. You've probably been a part of a group. If you've done any coaching programs, or if you're just a mom or dad, personal business, you're probably in some type of group to network, get information, whatever it is, you're in some type of group. You need to have your own community for what you're trying to do and what you're expert in. What you're trying to help people with, your mission and what you're trying to do, you need to start a community. And so the free ones would be, of course, Facebook. Probably Facebook is probably you could do WhatsApp. I'm assuming that's free, that you can do a free one with WhatsApp, some type of group chat, some community so you can talk with your people on a regular. And so what I always tell people with the community is it does require a level of commitment. It does, but it can be so rewarding in the end. So rewarding. You start to build your tribe. You start to get people invested in what you have to offer and what your mission is and what you're doing. For me, it's more so of the mission. If people invest right into your mission, they're bought into what you're really trying to do long term, they will buy from you and they're going to tell other people to buy from you too. That's kind of how I like to do it, especially with the systems and things. I'm like, if I can just get people to understand this, their whole language, their conversations change. So when, people that I'm connected with, partners, Reverend Joy, other people that I'm partnered with, when they're out there in the world and they're having conversations with people, things that I have, mentioned to them or tips and tricks and things like that, that will now be a part of their conversations with people. So think about it from that perspective. Think about like what you offer in your business. Chica, you would travel. You want, like if I'm talking to somebody and somebody mentions travel, I'm now mentioning you because I know you. I know what you bring to the table. I'm invested in, okay, Chica does this for travel. I'm learning all these things. So yeah, when I'm talking to other moms, you're the first person that's going to pop up in my mind. So when I say community, it's not just building a Facebook group, it's more to it than that. If you have the time to nurture them in a community like group, doing trainings, doing lives, doing calls, this and that, that's great. But if you don't, you can still achieve the same goal through text messaging and email marketing. You totally can. But if you can get a community going, even better. So you can show up every day and how you want to show up for your people. Surveys and polls. Market research is everything. So I'm going to give you an example. How many of us stress about what we're going to post on social media? How many of us stress about what email needs to go out, what offer? Oh, I'm doing this thing and I want to put together this. How many of us do that? You could just throw in the chat, put me, if that has been you before. I'm telling you now, you're doing it wrong. You are creating something off of you, what you want to do. It's not about you. It's about your people. It's about your tribe. It's about what they want and what they need. It's not about you. It's not about you. So if you're trying to craft an offer or do all these things based off of what you want, and you're not getting a lot of traffic, you're not getting people in the door, that's probably why. I'm here to tell you. Nobody else is going to tell you, but I'm here to tell you because I'm going to be real with you. That's probably why. It's probably one of the reasons why. So surveys and polls are important. Market research, which I can have a whole class on that. So I'll just kind of give you, some tips to get you heading in the right direction. Surveys are great. Putting out polls on social media, asking questions, ask people questions. And then people that ask you questions, take those questions and create content out of it. Take those questions, create social media posts out of it. Take those questions and that can be your email marketing, your tips, your things. Don't just go and find random stuff. You want to see what the pain points are, the people you're trying to serve. They are going to tell you. They will quickly tell you, like, you just get on the phone with somebody, they're going to tell you all their pain points in like 2 minutes. And they don't even realize they're doing it sometimes. If they find an expert, like I know for me, like Chica, I'm going to just use you because it's just easy with the travel. If I'm trying to book a trip, I come to you like in 2 minutes, you'll be able to know my pain points. I've got 3 kids. I don't have time, this, and I could just tell you real quick. And I think I did it earlier when I was talking about it in the first place, like easy pain points. It's like, okay, like I know the struggles, right? So surveys and polls are everything. You can do polls on social media. You can put the polls in your email marketing. Do a poll for if you're doing the text message marketing, you can do that. And then sending out surveys to people that you have worked with, people that have purchased from you are everything. Send those surveys out, probably monthly, quarterly, something like that, kind of get in a rhythm, but you want to collect that. Anybody that has engaged with you, bought something from you, gotten on a call with you, you want that information so you can be better and so that you can get the pain points and you can create, content and all of that out of it. Does that make sense? So instead of us doing it, yeah, Reverend Joe, you said me, yeah. So now, right, you can use some of those tips to take what you talk to people all the time. Take what they are giving you and create content out of that to put right back out. And then do some polls from time to time, do some surveys from people that have worked with you so you can get that, see what people are really needing. You can create your offers off of that. If you're like trying to launch something new, you can, again, do your email marketing. You can just do a lot of things off of that. Your social media posts, instead of just going to ChatGPT and doing some random stuff. Who's done that? Who's just gone to ChatGPT and been like, hey, I need 5 reels. I need 5 posts. Just spit it out for me. Who's done it? I know we all have at some point in time, right? And so instead of doing it that way, you want to make sure you are really serving your community. Research shows that communities that excel at lead nurturing generate 50% more sales-ready leads. So I'm giving y'all some numbers. I'm giving you, I've talked about the 9.3% earlier, but 50%. So for those of you that are nurturing, are you leaving 50% of your money on the table? Like, really think about it. Like, who wants 50% more in sales? I know I do, like any time of the day. So whatever it's going to take. So, some homework for you, write down how you're going to nurture your lead. What are you going to put in place? You don't need all of these things. Pick one thing, start with that one thing, get great at that one thing. And then as time goes on, you can add some other things. So pick one thing to nurture your lead, one thing. So some of you have said what you're already doing or what you might do. Start it next week. Work on it this weekend. Just get it started. Just do it, and do it scared. It's not going to be perfect. Do it scared. Okay. The risks of not nurturing your lead, lost opportunities in revenue. We know this. Damaged brand reputation. Absolutely. So I refer somebody to Chica or Reverend Joy, and they'll be like, yeah, talk to him, but I didn't hear from him again. How many of us has that happened to? Yeah, I referred somebody to Chica for travel. Yeah, I talked to her, I wasn't ready right now. And then 6 months, I haven't heard from her. Like, I talked to her 6 months ago. I don't know what happened. That's happened to probably a lot of us or people that we know, right? You don't want that to happen. You want it to, the experience, going back to the customer journey and the client experience, you want it to be different. Prospects receive you as unresponsive or uninterested. Yikes. That's the worst. You don't want that. That nothing irks me more than some bad customer service. And we've kind of talked about that a little bit. I think we have all had good and bad customer service, but we want to be on the good side of that as much as we can, right? And if you put things in place, you can be on that side and stay on that side and not be the person that is unorganized all over the place. And then you're not keeping up with people. You'll be like, oh yeah, what were you interested again? What package? Oh yeah, I talked to you last week. What did you need again? Oh yeah, we talked 3 months ago. Like, it's all over the place. Like, you want to have it in an organized way, right? So any questions so far? Any questions? Are you guys getting some value out of it? Give me a fire sign, drop a little jewel, give me something so I know that you're still with me. I know it's a lot of information, but yeah, give me something so I know that you're still with me. Yes, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Just want to make sure y'all still here. All right. The power is in the follow-up. Who's heard that before? The power is in the follow-up. I mean, it's everything. You following up. Oh my gosh. I don't know how many times in my 10-year career I've left money on the table because I didn't follow up. You're losing money, opportunities. Who knows what would happen if you followed up with that lead from last month? Even if you guys didn't work together, who knows what something could have came out of that relationship in a positive way. You guys could have partnered. They may know some other people that could change your business in your life today. How would you know if you didn't follow up with them? You won't know. So when we talk about the nurturing, let me talk about that for a second. It's not just about you making money and them just working with you. Think bigger than that. Think partnerships, referrals. It's way more than just a transactional thing. So yes, you're nurturing. Of course, you want them to buy from you, but think bigger than that. Think about opportunities you could be leaving on the table. Think about if I didn't connect with Reverend Joy, I wouldn't even be here right now. And I met her through somebody else, which is a good example. I have somebody that I partnered with that sent me a link to. She was looking for a speaker for her summit, some speakers. I booked a call. This is with Reverend Joy right here. True story. Booked a call. I'm like, I would love to speak at this. We're talking, going on and on. The conversation just went a completely different way. And I am now here being so blessed to be able to share information on her platform, and we're partnering. Right? So that's just an example of where things can lead. I didn't meet her directly. I didn't even know who she was a month ago. Like, I didn't even know who she was a month ago. And look at us now, right? So that's just an example. So the power's in the follow-up. So remember that. So let's talk about closing leads effectively, right? So how does this play into the client experience? Winning more sales requires an amazing customer experience. Yes or no? Yes. People aren't going to buy from you if they have a bad experience. People aren't going to buy from you if they can't even find where to contact you. They're not buying because you're making it too hard. Make it easy for them. Make it so easy where it's like, wow, make it easy for them. Have your links, have your stuff in order, have your stuff ready to rock and roll. So closing your lead. Once you've had your consult or discovery call and the client is ready to work with you, do you have a process in place to close your lead? What are you doing? Are you manually sending an email, manually sending a proposal and a contract, and then manually sending an invoice? Like, what? Too much. You can automate all of this. So I haven't even really dove into the automation, because before we even get to that, I need you guys to understand this stuff. I need you to understand why you need it in the first place before I even dive into, yeah, we can create this automation and that automation and get more time back in your day. Yes, we can do that. But I need you to understand why we're doing that. I need you to understand what you need to have in place, what you need to even understand in your business to get to that point, if that makes sense. So what are you doing to close your lead? If you're a service-based business, I want to know, when you talk to somebody and they're ready to send you some money, what are you doing? I really want to know. And it could just be real quick. You could just be like, XYZ. Like, I just really want to know what you guys already have in place right now. And if you don't have anything in place, what would you like to have in place? What would you like that process to look like when you talk to somebody and they're ready to work with you? Like, what would you do there? And then, so that's for the service-based businesses. For the product-based businesses, what do you want your little journey to look like? If you're selling digital products, or if you're that type of business, or you're selling food or something like that, if you're actually selling a product, what does that look like? So when somebody goes and buys, like what does that look like, right? I want to know. So just really quick, if you can just throw it in the chat. Like, when somebody's ready to work with you and literally give you money, like, what are you doing? What does that look like? And I know it's like not a quick thing to type out. So I was like, everybody's probably trying to type. So it's fine. It's fine. So I'm gonna wait for y'all to put that in there. While y'all do that, let's talk about some sales techniques. Sell by listening. So I can honestly say, and this is not me just saying this because it's me, I am very, very good at building relationships. I don't know how, I just do it. I don't sell to people, I have conversations. This has also come with experience. It just has. I know what people need. I know before I talk to them, really how I can already help them. It's just me knowing, like, in detail, like what that looks like. But I know people's pain points, and that's from me studying my audience and tribe over the years, right? And them telling me what they need. But I just listen. When I get on consult calls with people, I let them talk. So the consult calls are 30 minutes. They probably talk 20 minutes. I let them talk. I let them get it out, all the things they're struggling with and just everything. So you sell by listening. You have 2 ears and 1 mouth. You need to listen more than you talk, right? We learned that. We probably all learned that at a young age. It's true. So the same thing applies when it comes to business, right? Sell by listening. Listen to your people. This also goes back to, we were talking about doing market research, doing the polls, doing the surveys. Sell by listening. See what your tribe needs, what they're looking for. Have a conversation. I didn't even realize I had that there, but yeah, I just have conversations with people. They go different ways. It may not always be, a transactional thing, but usually something will come out of it, most times than not, right? Solve their problem. All of these techniques go, it ties heavy into the market research. It truly does. And I was talking about that. Have your offer ready to go. Don't be scrambling to put that together something. Have that stuff ready to go, or you shouldn't be doing marketing right now. You should know what you're going to offer them. You should already know, whether you tell them on the call or not, it should already be put together, right? Explain the process and next steps. When you're on the call with people, or if you're a product-based business and people are just on your page, have it clear. Don't have confused minds, don't buy. I didn't put that on here. Confused minds don't buy. How many times have you tried to click or do something and it was just confusing? So you went somewhere else. You literally Googled, or you're like, this isn't working, I'm gonna go somewhere else. It's a real thing. We do it. So people will do it to you as well. Make it easy for them. They should not be confused about who you are, what you do. If you talk to them, they shouldn't be confused about the offer. They shouldn't be confused about what they're getting. They shouldn't be confused about what they're buying. They shouldn't be confused about next steps or anything. It should be very clean and clear what they're getting, how much they're paying, and everything beyond that. It should be very, very clear. If you don't have that, I will stop your marketing and work on that first. Because if you get leads and you get people in your pipeline, I'm telling you now, you're going to be very stressed out. And we are here to learn to not be stressed out and to not be overwhelmed. We're learning the overarching foundational things so we don't have to be stressed out. We're learning things that will help us get more time back in our day. You guys understanding this, you are ahead of a lot of business owners, because they're getting in these coaching programs and they're working with people that are showing them how to get clients, but they're not teaching them this. They're not teaching them the foundation. So when they go out and get 100 leads, they have no way to keep up with it, and they're scrambling, and then things just crumble, because I've seen it in live time. I have clients right now that's the case, and I'm like, okay, let's just stop. Let's backtrack. Let's get this stuff together and organize. And then you can go back out there and implement what that coach told you and that type of thing. But you guys just even being here today and understanding just some of this, you are steps and steps ahead of a lot of other people that are still out there figuring it out. And guess what? You can share this information with them. Getting response while on, let's see, sales techniques. I went off on a tangent. I'm telling you, I get excited about this stuff. All right, explain process and next steps. Yes, we talked about that. And then getting response, while on the call. Absolutely. So that is the bulk of what I have for y'all today. I know it was a lot. We talked about capturing your lead, nurturing your lead, closing your lead. We talked about the lead management process, why it's important. We talked about the lead generation process. I was going to dive into automations, and I'm like, that may be too much. But again, I just need you guys to understand this. If you can understand this, then the automations are a breeze. If you can understand why you need the automations, right? Another thing I would say is have processes in your business. What is a process? It's things that you want to happen. So if you, like, for example, I want you to basically, some homework. I want you to write out your customer journey. So if somebody like goes to your social media page and then you have them click a link, and when they click the link, you want them to do this, I want you to write that down. I want you to write down how you're capturing your leads. I want you to write down how you're going to nurture your leads. I want you to write down how you're going to close your leads. I want you to write that down, all of that down, because once you do that, now you can set up your automations and you can do the next steps to build everything out, if that makes sense. So that is your homework. That is what I want you guys to focus on and do, is to write those things down. Does that make sense? And that's not homework for me. That's for you. More times than not, like I have people a part of my tribe right now. It's pulling teeth for some of them. It's pulling teeth to get them to do things. And I always tell them, I was like, I get emotionally invested when I work with people. I was like, I can't want this more than you. I can't want your business to succeed, and I can't want you to have more time in your day and not be stressed out and overwhelmed more than you. I was like, you've got to put in the work. I was like, I can give you the information. I can give you the step by step, but I can't want it more than you. I can't. You've got to want it. And so the homework is for you. It's not for you to report back to me or send it to Reverend Joy. It's for you. It's for every single one of you on this call. It is for you. And that is going to be a good foundation for you to move into the next piece, to start building your funnels and websites and building, your automations and all of that. These are the things you need to know. So I'm going to stop talking. Questions. Any questions, anything anybody has. You may not just have a question. It's just something you want to talk about. This is the time. It's an open, let's just kind of open the floor to kind of have some discussions about some of the things today. I want to know what you have in place. If you don't have it in place, what do you plan to put in place? What is it going to look like? When are you going to do it? Any other questions that you have with that? I definitely want to know. Chica, yes. Thank you for coming, girl. What's up?
Oh, no, you're welcome. Sorry, I'm driving. If you can't hear me, let me know, please. So my question would be, so when you mentioned like Linktree, so that's something that I'm wanting to start. So I guess how would you suggest, like someone goes to your page, or like let's say a social media post, and you're posting something, do you just like tell them, hey, go visit my Linktree, and there's lots of like different offerings, or like, I guess how would you post or say that stuff? Or
so let me make sure I understand what you're saying. So you're saying, like if someone's on your social media page, or if you're trying to send somebody to a link, what?
Okay, so let's say I post something, so it's a social media post.
Gotcha.
Do I just in the post tell them go visit my link tree to like see all the different things that are available, or link in bio, like that's clear enough? Or
yeah, that makes sense. I got you. So yeah, so I'm gonna answer that, but let's talk about Linktree first. So for those of you that don't know what Linktree is, it's essentially like a page that has the different things that you're offering or you're wanting people to do. So it allows you to put several things on there. So let's say you want people to join your newsletter. Let's say you're selling an ebook. Let's say you want people to book a call with you. Let's say your website. Let's say this, let's say that. It allows you to put all of that on there with like, so it's one link. So you'll go to that one link and then people will have the option to do all these things, right? So Chica, to answer your question, yeah, it can just be like, hey, head to my link in the bio. You want to know more? Like go to my link in the bio. And then when they click that link, then it will route them to, you know, the page, which is, I mean, Linktree is essentially a landing page, right? And it can have all the things. So it could be, you know, fill out the inquiry form. I know you have that, fill out the inquiry form or book a call, like whatever it is that you're wanting them to do. Yeah, call to action. Yep. Yeah. In CW, if that's Sierra, I think I know who that is, but call to action words in your post. Yeah, exactly. Head to the link in my bio, check it out. You want to know more? Head to the link in my bio, click here. Like you will just direct them. And on IG, so for those of you that have Instagram, and I'm not like a social media person, but you definitely don't want to put your links in your post. You want to send them to your bio. You want to have the link in your bio. You want to send them there because the links, when you put a link in your Instagram post, it doesn't hyperlink. So if that's something you didn't know, learn something new today. But other platforms, you know, same thing with TikTok, I think. If you're on like Instagram, I'm not Instagram, sorry, Facebook, LinkedIn, you can't put it in the post, but I would still have something in your bio, right? Because people are going to come and see who you are and what you do. So does that help, Chica? You just want to guide them to any verbiage around head to my bio to learn more, head to my bio to book your call. If you, because I know you'll do different things, right? So if it's somebody you're trying to, like you were talking about spring break or spring or the summer trips for moms to book, right? Like it would be like head to, you know, my bio. I wouldn't do just your email. You need a form. And I think you have one. I would send people to your form and not to your email. I would send them to your form so you can capture that, ask the questions you need to ask, and then kind of whatever you want to happen from there, if that makes sense. And then I know we've talked, so like you automating that process will be everything. Having them go to your form, then all the next steps, we kind of talked about that, but that's how I would do it, if that makes sense.
Yeah. All right. Thank you so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Anybody else? What are some of the things y'all plan on doing? How are we going to tackle this? How are we going to be more efficient? How are we going to put these things into play? Because before we put these things into play, we got to have it mapped out first. We got to write it down. So how are we going to do that? I would love to just maybe hear from another person on some of your plans and some of the ways that you plan on doing this. Like I said, this applies to everyone, whether you're a new business owner, you're an existing business owner, you may need to switch some stuff around. I know some of us here, you know, that may apply to, or some of us may be new, but how are you guys planning on doing that? I would love to know. Reverend Joy, is there anybody on the Facebook that has any questions? I didn't even ask.
Not yet.
Okay.
I'm checking.
Okay.
Yeah, if there is, I'll let you know.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Let's see. Anybody else? Anybody else? All right, Chica, you got the floor, girl. Go for it. Go ahead. Or I don't know, is that a new raised hand or your old raised?
Oh, is that me? Are you talking to me?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't mean to raise it again. Sorry.
Okay,
No, you're
okay.
good.
No, all good. Yeah, so I would also like to know, so if no one else, you know, comes up, completely cool. I would love to know who doesn't have somewhere to send people right now. So like, you know, we're talking about like links, right? Like you need to have a presence. You need to have somewhere to send people to besides social media. There's a lot of myths when it comes to websites and things like that. I'm not saying you have to have this robust, completely, you know, and spend a lot of time on it, but you do need something. So if somebody's like, oh yeah, send me your information, you need to have something to send to them. And so a good thing to do for that would just be a simple landing page. So who in here doesn't have something like that? So, that has the who, what, where, when, why about you and your business. Who doesn't, who's here in a room that doesn't have that right now? Who has it? So drop a 3 in the chat if you have something right now. If you already have somewhere where you send people. I need to know y'all are still with me. I know we're at the end, but I need to know y'all are still with me. So if you don't have anything, I forgot the numbers now. If you have something, just drop like a 1. If you don't have anything, drop like a 3. Come on, y'all.
So can I just I think it's easier for me to talk. Is that okay? Can I just talk?
Absolutely. You're driving. We want you to be safe, girl.
So I guess my question is, and you tell me, because thinking about this now, if someone were to click on my form to either, if they're ready to book something, for instance, that form tells them, but it's also a fee attached to it. So my question would be, do you think have a separate form to say a welcome, hey, I'm happy you reached out to me, I'd love to help you out. If you're wanting to then fill this form so that I still have their information, or do you it is news that I'm doing this, and I have the fee, but then I'm thinking after you said all this, do I maybe take the fee out so I can still get it, capture their information, and then I guess so. Yeah, that's.
You said a fee. You said you have a fee in there.
Well, yeah, because it's a research fee. So, if someone says, okay, yes, they want to, book this, then it's a welcome, letting them know, but it's also a disclaimer, so to speak, that this is the fee for me finding that for them.
Mm-hmm.
So the question is, do you think I have a separate one that's hey, welcome, this is Chica, I'd love to help you, whatever you're looking like, I would word it a certain way so that I still have their information, and then I direct them to that form. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes, I do think you should have something else before the form. I totally do. Just something that is the who, what, where, when, why about you. A lot of the things you put out, you literally can take that and just slap it on a page, have a link and send that to people. Then have a button on there if they want to inquire further. Then have a button on there. They click that, then it goes to the form instead of just sending them to the form. Now, if it's somebody that I would say it like this. If it's somebody that is ready to go, it could be a referral. It could be somebody that they're really ready to do that. You could send them there. But I would say everybody else that you really don't know that well, when you're out in the world at your networking events and promoting on social media and all that, you need another gate. I would say you need something else. You need a page. I would say you definitely need a page. And then from there, when they click, then that can go to that form, and you can keep it the same with the research fee and all of that. And however you have that, I would keep it that way. But I would definitely say you need something else for sure. And that's just me. I'm just thinking about myself, right? Because if let's say I didn't know you, but let's say either I was referred to you, or if I just found you in a Facebook group or something like that. And if that link was just going to the form and there's a research fee, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I don't know you. I don't know anything about you. And it just sends me straight there. I'm not doing it. So I do think you should have something else kind of friendly, warm. This is who I am. This is what I do. I always recommend putting a video if you can. So they know you're a real person, you're real, and they can kind of get your vibes kind of off the top. But people can also get vibes from just your page in general. They can be okay, you can get a feel on how someone is off of their social media. You can feel it, you can feel it through the screen. But I would definitely have a page. And I think for you, even a video would be better, because travel is kind of one of those things, right? Some people know it's a thing and they can outsource it. Some people don't know it's a thing. So you want to get them excited about, this is a thing, and this is who this, these are the you know, the type of people like busy moms or like kind of get into all that. And you already have a lot of content around that. Just kind of take all that from your flyers, your business card. I'll take all of that and I will definitely make a page. We've talked about that too. So we definitely might want to chat again or whatever. So about that. But I think having that and then it going to your form. And then even after your form, I don't know what you have, so I haven't filled it out, but after your form, having a, hey, thank you for filling out this form, yada, 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 yada. So we just need to talk. We need to talk. So I can help you with that and get that set up for you. For sure. Let's see. CW, like I said, I'm assuming that's Sierra. Anybody else have any questions? Dr. Linda, I know your autopilot is here. Reverend Joy, anything from your side? I know you have a lot in place too.
Yes, I do. And just to add to Chika's question, I believe that the best thing is what you're saying. You need that one pager that's gonna say everything you're doing, be able to collect those leads, and now whatever else you're gonna send them, once they give you that email, you have that automation that's gonna send them that, all that you do as well. But the lead for me, like she said, even over the 3.5 years I wasn't doing the business right, I still know that if somebody sold me something, I didn't buy the first day. And that is a problem most of us have. We lose customers, not because they didn't want to buy, but because they didn't buy the first day that we send them to where our businesses are. And we lose them because we have nothing to follow up. But those ones who truly want to buy in the future will actually enter their email, but they weren't ready to buy that day with whatever you send them immediately with their email. And as time goes on, they're going to buy. And the more email you collect, the more you have that law that said that every one email you have is going to make you $1. And I believe it. So imagine in 3.5 years, if I had collected 4,000 emails, automatically, I would have been making at least $4,000 monthly once I keep nurturing those emails. And it does not take that ages to collect if you do it right, especially when you're doing a new business. And that is why I wanted all the people in the group today, even as I'm talking now, who are going to be watching this. We had a powerful 3 days. I know most of them must have maybe still sleeping, but we had 7-8 hours every day for the last 3 days. But I just wanted this to be here. So even if you come back later to watch what we're doing today, we just want you to know that you don't have to wake up a year from now and then start nurturing even 100 people from next week, from a month from now. Even at the end of a year, even if it's only 500 email that your landing page, which is what Coach Jasmine keeps saying to Chika, you need that one pager. Even if it's 500 people because all that you're doing out there, somebody want to buy from you, but not all of them want to buy from you the same day that they see you. There's a lady that I love listening to every time she speaks. She's 75 years old. Actually, she was one of my best speakers in health. And she said that she didn't know that it took people 16 times of seeing a thing and hearing a thing to be able to actually associate to buy a thing. Most people are like that. That's why you see a customer reach out to you 6 months later and say, I've been watching. You didn't even know that she was watching. If that customer didn't reach out, what of some people who have just disconnected with you, who you never follow up after the first encounter, and they never reach out to you because something is popping that you do that actually maybe loop them in their system, now start nurturing them till they were ready to buy. They buy into that person, but it was supposed to be your customer. Just think about it like that. So that is what we're doing on this masterclass today. And I really want to thank
Reverend Joy, really quick, real life story, because what you
yes.
said is so powerful. I did a speaking engagement last year in the summer, it was around July. I met someone and she was interested in working together, but I think she got cold feet because she's wanted to kind of do a membership online. She was very good at what she was doing. And I was like, I can help you. She's more local, more hands-on. I'm like, you can reach more people if you start like an online like membership. wanted to help her do it, didn't hear from her. So I'm like, okay. So I have my monthly newsletter, emails I'll send out from time to time, just things like that. So the months go on. Then December comes, just a few months ago. I get a text message out of the blue or email, whatever it was, out of the blue saying, hey, like, can we talk? And I'm like, sure. She comes to tell me, she was like, in the most sweetest way, she was like, you're getting on my nerves, but I know I need your help. I stayed in front of her with emails, text messages, like I do all of that. So she's on my list. She was receiving my stuff. And every time she saw it, she was like, she would get upset because she knew that we needed to be working together so I could help her get her online thing going because she wanted, to reach more people and all that. And so she reached out to me because of my newsletter. She's like, you're just in the way. She's like, I get stuff from you all the time and I know I need to be working with you. And now she's a client. And that's a real life example. Just happened December. She's happy. I have done a lot for her in just a really short amount of time. And she's happy. And yeah, I created some automated solutions for her. She is living life and running her business and doing what she does best. So that's just an example. Like you can have stories like that too. And that's just one. Like that's a really recent one. And I always like to tell that because I'm like, we're not just talking about this, like this is real stuff and it happens. It really, really happens. So I just wanted to add that on to what you're saying.
Yes, that is that because that's one of, I want to be the coach I didn't have 3.5 years ago. I've been in this industry of coaching and speaking and doing business for over the last 14 years. Online presence is not going nowhere. People enjoy it. People love it. And it's not even, somebody will say, but people has been doing it since 2020. Still, so many people are not doing it, especially when it comes to that consistency, that one time a month newsletter and things like that. People are not doing it. They're not nurturing their lead, even those that have lead. Small businesses have a lot of content. They're not even emailing. So this is still the best time to forget every up and down that you've done in your life in business and do the right thing. Do the right thing. So I'm not talking, I know everybody here knows the right thing, but for all my ladies on the group who are going to watch this and still watching, I want you guys to know that every business starts from what we're showing you today. Even all these big guys out there that you are admiring, they are all staying on top of their game because they figured this system out early. And now as they do it, they get better, they recruit teams and they go viral. And you're admiring them like, oh, I want to be like, I said, Tony Robbins. That guy has system. He's not running the way they want to teach us in network marketing, organic. You will make your 100,000 this year, and next year you might end up make 2,000 because you didn't have system. But it's that power to make consistent money monthly that this system is going to help you in a simple way. So I just wanted to put that on, Coach Jasmine.
Yeah, absolutely. I'll close it out. Oops, I'm sorry, I went the wrong way. I'll close it out. Definitely let's stay in touch. Grab a screenshot if we're not connected. Let's definitely stay connected. I didn't even talk about I didn't get heavy into what I do, but let's stay connected. And if you need help with the presence, if you need help with any of that, scan this and let's have a conversation. Scan this if you're needing a one pager or a landing page, if you're needing somewhere to kind of manage and keep everything organized with everything we're talking about today, you do need a system to do that. We need to talk. So scan this and let's definitely do that. And stay connected for sure. We'd love to have conversations with anyone. I'm an open book, and I talk every day, all day to people about, systems and just different things in regards to systems. So I'm just so grateful for all of you that came out on a Saturday. You could have been anywhere else today, and you're here today. For those that tuned in or tuning in on Facebook or even watching this on the replay, I really, really hope you got some value out of this. And like Reverend Joy said, this is like one of the key foundations. So there are other foundational things, obviously, when you're starting your business, but this is definitely one of them. And it's oftentimes missed because people are so focused on that. I need to go get the clients and the marketing. Yes, you do. But you do need to have basic minimal pieces of this setup as well. So then when you'll be in position to receive all of those people. So I really appreciate everyone today. Thank you, Reverend Joy.
Thank you, everyone. And few ladies asked me how they can work with me. I'm gonna drop in the group a calendar to book a call, a 30 minutes call, where we can go through, like what I call purpose call, like something to give you direction to what you want to do. But just remember that whatever we're doing, you're gonna need a system because hey, I wish my coach had showed me all this 3.5 years ago. It took me a year of research to get into systems. And when I saw this one, I was like, no way. You guys didn't even see the system. We didn't show you guys the system. This system is amazing. So you're in this group, you better scan that code and take that special offer of reaching out and let Coach Jasmine show you your social media can be easier. Oh my God. Oh my God. I believe we'll have another masterclass to show
Oh, we
them the
have to.
system
I was
though.
like, we're just scraping the surface. Like, there's so much more I want to say.
Yeah.
But
But
I
if you
also,
don't,
yeah,
yeah, but if you don't want to wait till the next masterclass, you need to connect like today when you wake up and see this video and all of you are tired. Connect today with that, and that code is gonna be there. And let's just show you the simplest way and the very affordable system though. That's another big aha for me for this system. And so you can start. So even as you're booking the call, one of the things we're gonna go through, especially when it have to do with business. If it's a spiritual journey, then we're gonna pray. Reverend Joy will pray and we're going to read the Bible. But even in any other leadership you want to do, the team you want to build, the business you want to build, I'm giving myself the next 10 years to build my life right. So I keep telling myself, I say, I'm in the 40s. Imagine 10 years from now, I'm still in the 50s. By God's grace, He give me the grace to be here. And imagine what I can do 10 years from now just by waking up on this call the right way and doing it with a system that is going to give me the power to even save a lot of time as well. And, systems that is easy to activate. And if you have a team member already, like most of the speakers and the coach and all the other leaders have, even make it easier. You put a team leader, you even have young teenagers. This system, you can use your kids in the house and say, hey, let me show you what to do. I want you to do this part for me, do everything on automation. Who don't want to just let things run while they sleep? I don't know about you, but I don't think I want to just live my life behind the system all the days of my life. No, I want to come like 7 days in a month. Like when I mean 7 days is the hours in the 7 days and set up everything I need to do in those 7 days hours, not like consecutively 7 days. And my month run like a gym. And that's what these leaders are doing out there. So, and I'm so grateful today. I don't know how so Jasmine to be on this call that fast. I just met her like 2 weeks ago. I was my worry was with such professional and such knowledge come up. She's been a VA for so long and transited so good to system and tech lady. As she told you, 10 years experience. So she can help you with so many things. Listening to her, the good part for me is she can really help you with so many things. So you don't want to not to scan, you have to scan that code. Scan it and get to that call. She's going to really give you direction to what you want to do going forward, especially online. And even if your business is running offline, I'm going to tell you, sisters and brothers, don't do it. Make sure you have an online presence in 2024 going forward. So she's going to help you. So that will be it for us today. I know we have taken almost our 30 minutes of your time. Thank you so much, Chica, for being on the call. We appreciate you. I'm in Orlando, Florida. I don't know where you are. Yes, I'm right here. And thank you, CW, for staying today. And I know two of my ladies from Trinidad was on, but to be frank, the island always have some, I saw they send me voice, I can't listen right now. You always have some internet stress, from time to time, pop them out. And the leader from Syria that I know is those internet stress. But we have people in the group, who are there. Thank you so much, CW, for that. We appreciate you. We're going to have many more masterminds like this. But my mission in 2024 is to help as many people as possible that want to start right or continue right. You don't have to be a new business owner. Continue right, because till you get it, you will be having a good month and a bad month.
Mhm.
That is what we don't want you to have, a good month and a bad month, you know. So thank you, everybody, and see you guys on the top as we just close for the day.